if I turn this on, we'll see that when he walks, you'll see how he kind of cross legs and thrusts his foot off the ground. You know, he's not actually doing that. That's just an IK system, keeping his foot where it last was. We have this character here. The foot tracking is generalized to where feet and legs of different types can be used. They can, bow in different directions. Like here, this guy, his knee causes his legs to bow in this way. Where for this alien dude, who's got a really wonky anatomy compared to the norm, right? He's got 4 legs. The first 2 legs bow this way, and then the back 2 legs bow out that way. And then we actually have his toes, which it's still a work in progress, but he doesn't have like a ball of the foot. He has kind of 2, and we make him the toes. So the systems that allow this guy to walk need to be kind of generalized a bit more to handle both these characters. We select this guy and we say the state name, so that's how you recognize it here, which is walking, this guy. So we type in walking, and then the clip name. It's a little weird mechanism in that you need to know the clip name and the state name, because you can't pull out one from the other, especially at runtime. But if I click on walking and go to inspector, it's armature.001 bar walk. Yeah, it's a scriptable object, so if I wanted to, I could actually, save it while it's running, and then when I stop and restart and all that, it should still be saved. He's got 4 legs, so we have 4 of these instead of 2. And then what we want to do is we say, for this animation, and we know how to play it because we have this information here, play the animation, give me 20 sample points of each of the feet. You'll have to be in that play mode for it, but then we see here's that one. This is the front left, this is the front right, back left, back right. You'll see how those 2 jump together because they kind of leapfrog. I need to make these more intuitive. He has the blinking system too, so his eye's hooked up. There you go, blinking. And this third eye here, right now, it doesn't do anything special. It's really just the amount it blinks is the amount the eye closes, because not just blinking, but eye closing. So if he's like emoting and he's like raising and lowering his eyebrows and squinting but not blinking, that third eye will actually open and close on the average of how much the left and the right eye do right now. But I want to add overrides for that later in case you want to do weird stuff with it. It's also tracked to his look at, so if I look at the camera, it kind of just rolls his eyes. Let's see. We're going to change the controlling character, so I'm not moving him around. And then let's see if I go try speak.
So test audio, test 1 2 3.
See what you do.
Attach some lip syncing to this too, and see how that does.
It's not fully rigged, but he does have some phonemes, and he does have the jaw opening, and you'll see his the facial expressions, how his eyes will open. The eyebrows aren't hooked up yet, but.
So test audio, test 1 2 3.
See right there. Normally the John character will have his eyes get bug-eyed there. So look at the camera, and you see that's even the third eye has a look at there. So you see basically controlling, like this could be the main character if I wanted him to be in. Check this out. See, he's got the foot same system here where he'll step on that ledge. Now there are some issues like raycasting when I cross this this threshold right here, the fetal pop. His legs go down so far enough right now that it doesn't recognize during the animation that it should, raycast onto this. That could be easily fixed, but, this is a progress report. So I'm going to switch out characters, so now I'm controlling this guy, and this guy we're going to show off an automation for using the state machine. And this will be how the NPCs will be controlled, and this will be the guy that I test the dialogue system when I get to it. So we have this warp character selected here, and if we scroll down, you'll see that I just copied, the audios here from the original guy. He's got these programs here. He just has the one, and this is going to start when the game starts because I'll say, walk around. And then we just have the one program. This is the walk around. Basically, he'll stand where he is, and then this probably needs to be clipped. But he'll say that thing, and then basically what's important is here where he'll walk to a point, look at the camera, I'll walk to another point, rotate and look, and then he'll say this thing, but then you'll see that it goes on to this thing that loops back to it. So he'll be in kind of a patrol route, just saying stuff in my voice. And this execution's now in the game manager, not in the level. So if I go to
test audio, test 1 2 3.
and I say show me this one.
Attach some lip syncing.
So this is him talking right now.
That does.
That's him walking, rotating, waiting for a while, and then he'll say that thing again once 5 seconds is over.
Test audio, test 1 2 3. We're gonna attach some lip syncing to this too and see how that does.
Now, here's our guy with his animation. The first thing you'll notice is that I didn't use IK because I had weird issues with these poles. And again, here, we don't have, this is the foot right here. This isn't the ankle. This is part of the leg. This is like a second shin here. So he's got 3 bones there, 3 bones there. This part here, you'll notice that these can buckle inwards and outwards as they please. So really what we need to rely on is for the animation to tell us like how to bend forward, not some muscle system that has an assumption and constraints about which way certain joints and muscles will bend. And really here the pole system I had an issue. So you'll see walking, like if this is, or can we say the 0 line is, if this is a 0 line, let's say a little below this line right there, it's constantly sliding and going around because I do have IK systems here, but again, the poles screwed up and they seem to just have a mind of their own when they're being used. So if I had that, and then I move it here, so that bends outwards and there's a lot of popping, right? So you need to cater to that. It's sometimes correct, sometimes incorrect based on where you have it outwards. And then pull, if I drag that around, there's popping there. And, I want this to be like the direction the knee goes to, which is fine here, but then it's kind of not elsewhere. And then the arms are left alone. That's also FK. His hands, not standard. He's kind of gecko-ish. He's got 2 thumbs like a koala, but only 2 fingers, like a 4-fingered cartoon character that we're going for. One thing to note, I haven't used this yet, but let's see. This last forearm will stretch out in case I want to do some kind of, wobbly effect. It's not hooked into the rig yet though, so. And then the legs can do that too, yeah. It's probably because I'm not adjusting the FK bones. I'm adjusting the final blended version between the FK and the IK. But anyways, yeah. So there are tentacles here. These tentacles, you have these bug eyes, and then these actually are controlled by eyelids that rotate at the correct pivot. And then the mouth and the jaw, so that. And it's got this thing, which is awfully suggestive, so I think I'm just going to get rid of it. I was going to have like 4 tongues come out, but that might even be more suggestive. And plus, the humans don't even have a tongue, right? And now we're giving this guy 4 tongues on top of all this. I think I just need to cut that. But then some mandibles. And I can have these be auto-generated, procedurally generated, or I could generate these by hand, or I could do both, right? Because I have a few blending systems that I could attach this to or make new ones from. So, we'll do something with that later. Right now that's left alone, but, he could like have food like an ant or oscillate like a Zoidberg. I mean, like, what is this guy? And then we have these tentacles, and we don't actually animate these tentacles. People are going to have like swinging hair later. I'm going to use the same system here where basically, check out these tentacles. And I know the ones on his left side, our right, is a little droopier. I think the physics are a little off. But basically, his head is kinematic, and then these are just joints and rigid bodies that are being driven off of it. So, here, let me get a little closer. So, you'll see 2 options I can use. One is super wobbly, and then one is kind of there, but not as wobbly. But when he moves, you can see it animate and not be so distracting. Let's see if he moves. Yeah, you'll see it move there. Other animations, however they have his head move, that'll respond. It never has to be animated by hand. It'll just respond correctly into the world. We could put collision boundaries here and it'll, you know, drape around it and not through their bodies and stuff like that. And he's got that third eye. We were still able to, when we were walking around with him instead. Oh my God, this guy is just such a mess. Oh man, there's the trail. Okay,